You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Welcome to the ongoing Halloween saga that is Podcasserole.
I'm on a terrible, terrible rabbit hole right now.
Well, to get you caught up, in case you didn't listen to last week's show, which I feel for you, you should.
Right.
I mentioned a Dolly Parton song at the end.
Yeah.
Called Me and Little Andy.
Man.
Where she did like a kid's voice in the song.
Yeah,
and
I'm still kind of wrecked by it. Thank you.
And the girl dies at the end.
Right. Killed by Dolly's hands of a poisoned banana loaf.
Well, we're speculating there. So we thought it would be funny if we, and fun and funny.
Funny and fun?
It's funny.
Yeah.
We thought it would be funny to begin the show this week with more songs. Like these are actual songs, but are just super, super creepy. Yeah. I've got a couple that I can think of off the top of my head.
Right.
But you found one that is quite disturbing.
So we're going to listen to the song live with you. So we haven't heard this yet at all.
Okay.
But this is from the 50s by an artist named Johnny Horton on Columbia Records.
Yeah, I recognize the name Johnny Horton.
The new hit single, All Grown Up. I have no idea what this is going to, I don't know, but people say this is crazy.
Sounds fun.
Just like I'd done before. You changed, so strange, you're all grown up. You wear those heels in the holes, dressed up in your mama's clothes. You're hip, I'm flipped, you're all grown up.
Okay.
When I'm walking, talking to you all the time, makes me glad all over, honey. So glad you're mine. When you feel my touch, I'm loving you too much. You're right, so nice, you're all grown up.
What is happening?
Maybe Daddy had a different meaning in the 50s.
Hey, Daddy, I'm all grown up. You threw away those candy bars, started gazing at the stars. Brand new, that's you, you're all grown up.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Well, maybe it's Daddy in the sense of, hey, Big Daddy.
That's possible. The funny part about this, if there is a funny part to it, in this forum I'm on here about disturbing songs, the one below that link we just played, this person says, I clicked on that link and 5 minutes later, Chris Hansen knocked on my door. That's pretty funny. But there are a lot
Hi,
more.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
What was, you think they were meant for, was it innocent back then? And as time goes on, those mean different things to us?
Yeah, probably it was like, like Big Daddy was like a term back then. Like, I think.
You think that was like an enduring song from a father to his daughter?
No, I don't know. I don't think that at all. I think it was like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah.
It was little girls singing though, right?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, well, I'm
saying you're dressed in your
trying-
mama's clothes?
I'm just trying to make it better.
I'm trying to make it better too, but I think it was more of a you're my baby girl. I mean, they can still, a daddy can kiss his daughter. No? I don't know. I'm trying to make it good here. No?
I want to hear super bass again.
But there are stories of much more disturbing songs. I don't think I want to hear those now. There's an even more disturbing one of the Little Andy song with Dolly and Porter Wagner. I don't want to hear it.
Oh, well, let's play it.
I don't want to.
Come on. What's it called?
It's called Melina with Porter and Dolly.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea what it's about.
But we're going to listen to it, right?
If you want. Yeah, let's do it. It's on Spotify.
Okay.
So it can't be that bad if it's on Spotify, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I have no clue what the lyrics are here. Here we go.
I wish that Melina had wings.
Melina for hours would run in the meadow where Melina would go to play every day.
First off, what's up with Dolly and the Sad Kid song?
I don't know.
She'd chase butterflies and she'd say with a smile, if I had wings, I could fly that way.
I don't think this is going to end well.
No, I don't think so.
Melina would cry when we tried to explain that little girls weren't supposed to have wings. we'd see a strange look in Melina's eyes. I wish that Melina
Is that something else?
And that terrible website is Weird Ad playing.
Oh.
We'll always remember Melina's last birthday.
Porter.
Boxes with bright colored ribbon and string.
String.
And the wish that she made as she blew out the candles. I wish that Melina had wings.
So she wanted to die?
I don't think she wanted to die. Did she?
That's
want
her
to die?
wish.
And
yeah.
with all the gifts that we bought for Melina, the wish that she made, we could not satisfy. But on the night of her birthday, the angels fulfilled it.
Good.
They gave her wings, and now Melina can fly.
Good Lord, Porter.
Melina has wings and Melina can fly on the wings of an angel in heaven on high. From the time she could talk,
Man.
her wish was the same.
Dolly loves killing off kids in songs.
Melina
the end of
had
it.
wings.
Wow.
Even Jolene's kind of a sad song.
That is.
Jolene,
Man.
Jolene. Oh.
Man, Dolly.
And Porter.
Wow.
Any other songs?
I'm done.
No. Come on, one more.
Oh, man. Yeah. Okay.
You said you found a whole list.
Yeah, there's a whole list. The most disturbing song this person's ever heard is the Pernies Brothers Chicken Wire. Have you heard of that one before?
No.
Me either. Let's check it out. Huh?
Okay.
Have you heard of the Pernies Brothers?
No.
Oh, man, now I'm scared. I don't want more kid things. Chicken Wire?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this. Is this a country and western song?
I don't know. I don't even know who they are.
We play both kinds, country and western.
I'm afraid what my history's going to show up in these songs here.
You boys drink a lot of beer. I'm doing lines from Blues Brothers, by the way.
Oh, from 1998.
Oh, okay.
This can't be too bad, right? From the album Overcome by Happiness.
Okay, well, that sounds...
How bad can that be?
That sounds hopeful.
You write anything on your computer.
Is that an ad?
That's an ad.
Is this YouTube?
That's YouTube. There we go.
I hate you, YouTube. Taking a minute to get to the lyrics.
It is, yeah. I would skip. I don't know what to skip to.
With a drink in her hand, she will start her car and then
Oh boy.
seal herself for good in the garage. She's never leaving.
Oh my God.
There were times, to be sure, it was so pure you might choke.
You see what's happening here?
Uh-huh.
Now in the garage, the falling ceiling, and all the walls will fade to black.
Well, that's death.
Can she be thinking of another now? Take my hand, pull me through.
Oh, this is really sad.
So much I've left undone.
Jeez.
But it's too late now in the garage.
Wow. That's the music interlude for a bit.
Okay.
Okay, how about some...
Wait a minute. I've got one.
You want some happy music?
No, I've got one.
Oh, man.
I got a creepy song.
Depressing.
You know this one.
Big John. Big John.
You remember this?
What is this from?
Every morning at the mine you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6" and weighed 245, kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip.
And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John.
Big John. Big John.
Big Bad John. So John goes to work in a coal mine, right?
Right, yeah. What happens to Big John?
Nobody sat down in the ground and the smoke and gas belched out of that mine. Everybody knew it was the end of the line for Big John. Big John. Big John. Big Bad John.
He died.
Jeez.
There's a
Now
mine
they
explosion.
never
Okay, I have an
reopened
idea.
that worthless pit. They just placed a marble stand in the front of it. These few words are written on that stand.
At the bottom of this mine lies a big man. Big John.
Jeez. Oh, man, this is too depressing. I want to bring this up a little bit. Can I bring this up?
Big Bad John. What's more uplifting than Big John?
Can I bring this up? Because it's talking about dead people. How about in the same genre, same time, a little more happier of a song?
Okay.
You remember this from Fallout 4? Mr. 60-Minute Man?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a dirty song for back in the day, honestly. What do you think he's talking about here?
Well, there was also the serial killer or the killer in the.
That's true. Hacking and whacking and slapping. Yeah.
I'll rock 'em, roll 'em all night long. I'm a 60-minute man. If you don't believe I'm all I say, come up here and take my hand. When I let you go, you'll cry. Oh yes, he's a 60-minute man.
That's pretty great.
There'll be 15 minutes of kissing. Then you holler, please don't stop. Don't stop.
So I have another one from Johnny Horton.
Oh, you do? Oh, really?
Yeah. Now this is the Johnny Horton song that I know. Like when you said Johnny Horton, this is the one I thought about.
In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi.
I've
We
never
took
heard
a
this.
little bacon and we took a little beans, and we caught the bloody British in a town in New Orleans.
Fired our guns and the British kept a coming, but there wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to running on down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico.
Never
Called
heard
the
this.
Battle of New Orleans.
Really?
We looked down a river and we see the British come, and there must have been 100 of them beating on the drum.
Wow.
We stepped so high and they made the bugles ring. We stood beside our cotton bales, didn't say a thing. We fired our guns and the British kept a coming.
Who'd have thought this depressing song from Dolly Parton would lead us here?
I know.
Who'd have thought?
To the Battle of New Orleans.
Down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico.
All right, one more lyric.
Old Hickory said we could take them by surprise if we didn't fire muskets till we looked them in the eye. We held our fire till we see their faces well. Then we opened up our squirrel guns and really gave them
Well, we fired our
guns and the British kept it coming. There wasn't as many as there was a while ago. We fired once more and they began to run it. Well, down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico.
So there you go.
Wow. Took us down a crazy path there, huh?
Do you have any others?
I'm good. Yeah, let's leave it happy here.
I think I have one more.
Oh, no, please.
Would you put this on your Halloween list?
Sure, yeah, I think so.
Riding out one dark and windy day.
So this takes me down a path we can talk about a little bit.
Up on a ridge he rested as he went along his way.
Because I'll be honest.
Yeah?
I was born in 84.
Yeah.
The first time I ever heard the song was in Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, okay.
I'll be honest.
In 1999.
I'll be honest with you here.
Or 98.
Love that song. Love the, at the time, love the movie. Great soundtrack from it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Admit that. But with the Dan Aykroyd combination here, I was doing some watching of YouTube videos and things today. I had no idea. Like I said, I've never seen the Twilight Zone, the movie.
Really?
And that classic scene of Albert Brooks and Dan Aykroyd.
He's like, you want to see something really scary?
I'd never seen that until today.
Really?
And that was really cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Back when Dan Aykroyd was good.
Yeah. And that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should watch Twilight Zone the movie.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you really should.
I know it's pretty fun. It's like that. It's cool.
Yippee-yi-yo.
Yippee-yi-yay.
Ghost riders in the sky.
All right. You don't have any other creepy songs? There was one more I was trying to think of, and I can't
There are
remember.
tons of creepy songs, but this just makes us depressed. This is Halloween time. Happy time, not sad time.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
In the second half, have you chosen to do, did you want to do some Wes Craven or Alfred Hitchcock? What do you choose? It's all your pick.
I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 2.
Okay.
Guess a number.
1.5.
It is going to be Wes Craven.
Okay, there we go.
And so I guess we could do a little Adam's Ghost now.
Of course, yeah, let's do it.
So do you have any available?
I do not, honestly. So this week is a special week, JP.
Yeah.
I want you to pick a state yourself.
Oh, okay. City and state or just state?
Just give me a state and we'll break it down from there.
Historically, the best ghosts have been from the South.
I can't deny that.
And I'm on the hunt for the next Booger Jim.
Bow, bow, bow. That's like the America's Next Show. We're on the hunt for America's next Booger Jim. Are you the next BJ?
Are you the next Booger Jim? So maybe, and you can make a call here.
Yeah.
Can we look for strange mythical creatures of the South? I mean, really just push the issue?
We could.
Yeah? See what a computer. Strange mythical creatures of the South.
I'll go to my files here.
Uh-huh.
Strange and mythical creatures of the South.
Because this could touch a little bit of something that you enjoy.
That's true, yeah.
Cryptozoology.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. If you don't come up with anything, I'll just pick a state.
I'm going a little too factual here. I want everything that comes up in my files are actual like eels and frogs.
Oh, yeah,
That's not fun.
I want a Booger Jim.
Next week, I'll bring you strange and mythical creatures of the South. I promise you that. How about give me some time to research?
So let's just go with, I want to stay in the South, so let's do, we've done Virginia, no. South Carolina.
I believe that's where Booger Jim's from, right?
I know. I'm trying to find the next Booger Jim. This is our documentary.
So I know it's been a year. I know we speak of it quite often, but it's quite possible we have new listeners that have reviewed us on iTunes recently. So thank you for that. Check out the reviews on there. Good
really?
stuff. Yeah.
I should go look.
So it's possible those people that reviewed us recently are new listeners, and they hear speak of Booger Jim, they don't know what it is. So really quickly, I'm going to give a quick rehash of the Booger Jim story.
I like the way you're thinking. If we can't find the next Booger Jim, let's just rehash the old Booger Jim.
And so doing an actual search of the page of South Carolina here, there are multiple Booger Jim stories I didn't notice last year. I'm noticing just now. So let's go first to Blacksburg, South Carolina, the Cherokee Falls Bridge. This is the story of Booger Jim. Now, we've done deeper research on this and had artist renditions of this, but this is the original story. Kind of short and simple, sweet to the point is how it started. Cherokee Falls Bridge in Blacksburg, South Carolina. Booger Jim lives under this bridge. He died on the bridge in 1979 when he was hung over the side of the bridge with jumper cables by his crazy wife, Becca, at around 9 p.m.
I hate you, Becca. I hate you.
By jumper cables. If you call his name 3 times, he will answer.
Booger Jim.
But you can't make it out because his throat was crushed from the hanging.
Booger Jim. Booger.
Some people have even reported seeing him with a large burn on his throat.
Look, it's Booger Jim.
From the jumper cables. That's in Blacksburg, South Carolina.
Wait a minute. Did she have him hooked up to a battery when she hung him?
I don't ask questions about these files. Okay. But the story does continue.
Okay.
In Gaffney, South Carolina at Cherokee Falls.
Wait, I thought this was Cherokee Falls.
No, that was Blacksburg at the bridge. Cherokee Falls Bridge.
Oh, okay.
So now we're actually in Cherokee Falls and Gaffney. I don't know. They say down in Cherokee Falls near Blacksburg. Interesting. So I think there's a city limits line here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thing no one knows.
They probably look down on each other.
No one knows what he is, but everyone who has seen him calls him Booger Jim. He will haunt you if you go down in there. He's half man and half cow. That's Booger Jim of Gaffney, Cherokee Falls, Blacksburg Bridge.
So something happened to him after he was hung by his wife.
Right.
And then he became half man, half cow.
Yeah. I mean, I believe, is it on our Instagram that's been updated a year ago? I believe there's an artist picture on there.
Nothing has been updated.
How about this? In Georgetown, South Carolina, fresh new breaking story. This is the story of the Midget Man.
I'm your midget man.
In Georgetown, South Carolina. There are notes of hearing this is all in quotes here, a midget man weeping. Hearing his mistress gasp for breath, heavy air, temperature fluctuation, rising hair on your body, feeling of lost hope, scary feelings, itchy scalp. They sound like side effects of an STD drug, right? Wow. I'm just reading the story here. Don't blame me for what's going to happen. In the late 1820s, a diseased midget was outcast for his disability. I'm just reading the file story.
This is the most offensive one you've ever done. Last week, you offended Asians.
No.
And this week, I think the term in 2017 is little people.
I'll try to edit as we go here in real time. A diseased little person was outcast for his disability. But you can be diseased. Like, I'm a diseased chubby guy. I'd take no offense to that if I was diseased.
Yeah, but that's the equivalent. That would be like you wouldn't like if somebody he's the diseased lard ass.
But diseased little person was outcast for his disability. That's a story from the 1820s. I'm going to try to real time edit that as I go.
Oh yeah, you won't.
On his journey from the port city of Georgetown, he was to meet the love of his short life outside of the historic city. When he arrived for his rendezvous, he witnessed the mistress hanging in a tree.
What?
It's like a Tinder meetup, but he goes to meet her at Starbucks, and she's hanging.
I bet Booker Jim did this.
She was being punished for having performed supposed witch-like experiments in an effort to heighten her lover's stature. Wow, this is a good story. It continues, though.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What would qualify as a witch-like experiment?
I don't know. This was the 1820s. So she falls in love with a little person.
Yeah.
Feels bad for him, loves him for who he is, wants him to be happy in his normal life.
She's going to try to cast a spell to make him like average size.
And people, the townsfolk find out about this and then call her a witch and hang her in the tree of their meeting spot for the next date.
You witch.
It is said that the little person found his lover struggling for her last breath, but was unable to reach her to help her escape death's grip.
Oh my gosh, Adam.
After this experience, little person lost his sanity and prowled the field until the day of his own death.
I wish I was a little bit taller.
Past Georgetown, going down Highway 51, turn left in a dark road called Amos Street. Follow the road. On the left somewhere, going to the spooky field, you'll see a big scary tree with bark on it. The decaying bark symbolizes his stresses, decaying skin, which rotted there over time. Watch for the stumps in the ground that are said to have sprouted. Stop this saying. Sprouted from them. The short man's tears come from the stump on the ground. We're almost done here. You know it is the right tree because there's a patch of dark grass in the woods behind it. Walk around the tree three times and reach up to rescue the lady. A vague image of the little person can be seen yonder dancing and cheering due to the release of his lost lover's soul.
Hooray!
Georgetown, South Carolina.
When you said that, I pictured like when you get to the end of the world in Mario.
Wow, that's a deep story.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool story. It has a good backstory to it.
If you go there, you can hear him crying.
Right, over his dead woman's soul.
We actually sent a team out to gather audio of the little person crying.
Yeah.
And they brought it back to us.
God almighty.
Oh, man. How about?
Yes.
In Lancaster County, South Carolina, Highway 521, we call it the Devil's Stomping Ground.
Oh, okay. I like the way this sounds.
Now, this area is kind of similar to a crop circle, as it is a circular area in a field in which there is no life, no plants grow in the circle, not so much as an ant or an earthworm can even be found within.
I've heard of this. I've actually heard of this place. Yeah, I've heard of this place.
The story is that it served as an execution site for the Waxhaw and Catawba Indians.
Yep.
Evil spirits were said to have frequented the site to collect the condemned souls of the executed. The consistent feature of the site is an overwhelming feeling of dread, despair, and nausea to anyone who stands in the circle and takes a minute to clear their mind. In Lancaster County, the Devil's Stomping Ground, South Carolina. You've heard of that?
I've heard of this
really?
place. Yeah.
Wow.
You know where I heard of it?
Where's that?
On our friends at the Unbelievable Podcast.
Really?
Not really our friends.
Yeah.
They don't know us. But
yeah.
It is a podcast that we enjoy listening to. And, and they actually had one of their listeners go to that place.
Really?
Yeah. I've heard that story before.
That's pretty awesome.
And not because it's a shared ghost story between states like last week.
How about Lounsville,
South Carolina?
South Carolina, the Ridge Church in Lowndes-ville, South Carolina. Now, Ridge Church is an old abandoned church that was used by Satanists for a short time after it closed. Altogether, it has 4 graveyards and a mass grave site, most likely containing the remains of the many victims of a fire that happened in Lowndes-ville years ago. People have reported seeing orbs floating over graves in broad daylight and even at night, hearing sermons going on inside the church itself, hearing footsteps inside the church as though someone is walking around in the bell tower, and even seeing dark figures inside the church moving around. Many people refuse to enter the church due to a negative feeling they get upon stepping up to the stairs and opening the door, as though something is wrong with the building and the inside of the church itself. It tends to feel freezing cold even during the summertime.
Well, man, whenever I go to church, there's weird sensations. My skin tends to burn. You might see smoke rising when I cross the threshold.
Here's a quick one. The Strawberry Chapel in Monk's Corner, South Carolina.
What a name.
It is said to be haunted by a young girl who was chained to a tombstone there by her father.
What?
Damn.
What?
Monk's Corner, Strawberry Chapel.
Then she got all grown up and started wearing her mom's clothes.
Final one. I think South Carolina is about to run its course, but final one. How about, let's see, at Parks Cemetery in Summerville, South Carolina. And near the back of this cemetery is an almost unmarked grave. We heard crying like a child, they say, the reports. Followed it. Man, this report has a bad grammar. We followed it to a grave, almost unmarked. Only the name Jesse Blue Hyatt is there. In the year 2002. Witnesses visiting took a flower and the crying stopped. Another witness visited and heard again the crying. She gave a windmillish sort of angel. She gave a windmill angel. I don't know what they're trying to say. And then she gave a windmill angel like little figurine. One of those windmill angels.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
One of those, you buy, you put down on the ground on the gravesite itself. It's a windmill angel. And then when they put that in the ground, the crying stopped. Every time someone has gone, they too has heard the crying. It's been reported that there's been a smell of smoke and hard to breath. All of that visit return and are drawn to place things that child has not forgotten.
What? What if in the Faith Hill song, she'd pronounced it breath every time instead of breathe? I can feel your breath.
Wow. I think that's all I have this week for South Carolina. There's some good stuff in here, though. I like the names of the towns.
And we're not even halfway through Halloween, kids.
No.
So you still got time.
No, I feel bad.
Be part of Adam's Ghost.
Please let me know some states, some cities, even countries. We can have countries in the files here.
You can email us, ajp at adamandjp.com.
Yeah.
Send us a tweet on Twitter at adamandjp. I guess we should probably push our Patreon page, too. We don't talk about that enough.
Yeah, patreon.com/podcastroll. If you like what we do here, a lot of extra stuff on there for sure.
And I promise when I get back from vacation,
Yeah.
we will record our exclusive for this month.
And maybe a Hitchcock, maybe?
We might do some Hitchcock. Some Hitchcockian.
Right, yeah.
A Hitchcockian podcast.
But this week it's Wes Craven time.
We're going to do some Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Yep. There was something I wanted to tell you quickly before we go to break. In my new job,
okay,
I had to do something the other day with a country music artist. And long story short, the country music artist was going to be presented with one of their #1 records during this event we were doing. And I'd never met this guy before.
You can't say who it is?
I mean, I could. I guess I can. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Josh Turner.
Okay.
Country music artist Josh Turner. So I'd never met him. Didn't meet him before we started doing this interview thing that we were doing. And I'm just kind of in the background, recording this. I'm not actually doing the interview or anything. So then his people are like, "Hey, when we get done, can you hold him until a certain time? And then his management team is going to be here, and we're going to present him with this record. But we don't want him to leave until they get here." And we're like, "Okay, we'll do what we can." I honestly felt like by the end of it, I was. Like my wife was like, you basically were like impractical jokers. You were, you were punking this country music artist because to hold him there, I kept having him cut like station liners, which are like him reading promos for the station. And this is how I would do it because I was trying to take up as much time as possible. And now, bear in mind, we've never met, we've never spoken to each other. I'm sitting on a couch, kind of in a darkened area of the room, doing this. I'm like, "Okay, Josh." I need you to say your name and you're listening to, and then I would just like name something from the station,
just over and over again,
like a personality or a show.
Uh-huh.
And so he would do it, and they were like, "Okay, that's great. Let's do one more. I need you to say your name and you're listening to." And I was taking these long pauses on purpose because there was only so many I could go through
to kill time. Yeah.
And so by the time we get to the 10th one,
wow,
I could tell he's starting to get a little peeved. Like, who is this guy? What is going on? And he was always nice. He was nice the whole time, and he did every one I asked him to. But by the last one that we finally, and then finally, because about halfway through, I looked at his representative that was with us, and I was like, "Do we have time to cut a few more?" And she's like, "Oh, yes, you have plenty of time to keep going."
He wasn't frustrated whatsoever?
He was, and he was rushing them. So when I would finally get out what I wanted him to say, he would just say it really fast to try to get through it.
That's funny.
And then he would think that would be the last one. And then I would be like, "Okay, that's great. Let's do one more." Say your name and you're listening to, and seriously, I did like 10 of these. And then finally, his representative was like, "I think that's all the time we have." And I was like, "Oh, thank goodness."
Off the hook.
And so we walk out. He has no idea, we're going to get and he doesn't storm. I mean, he was really, really sweet about the whole thing. But, he's walking with a purpose to wherever we're supposed to be going. And when we get there and he sees that this was all, for his benefit,
right, yeah,
he was super cool about it.
Uh-huh.
And then when he left, I was like, "Dude, we have never met, and I'm so sorry. I promise I'm not a jerk like that." And he was laughing about it, but
nice.
I thought that was a funny story to share.
Yeah.
I hate, like, when I would, especially for whatever reason, country music DJs like to talk about hanging out with artists and make it sound like, I hate hearing stuff like that, but I thought this was a funny story that I would share with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I punked a member of the Grand Ole Opry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well played.
Thanks.
Well played.
So we'll do the complete works of Wes Craven.
Yeah, let's do it next.
In the mood to listen to some geeky conversations? Feel like the internet isn't the best place for an in-depth, respectful exchange of ideas? Then head on down to the 42 Cast. It's a weekly show that covers a new geeky topic in comics, TV, movies, literature, or video games every week. We can be informative,
Back in my day, kids, Pluto was a planet, so it's gonna stay a planet.
irreverent,
You learn so much from the X-Men. I mean, really. That Wolverine is the most important character no matter what.
strange,
It's like, Grodd if he went into theology or something.
Right?
or controversial.
I believe, and I will swear to my dying day, that the Marvel Cinematic Universe began with Howard the Duck.
Find us on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, 42cast.com, or esopodcast.com. It's the 42 Cast, your ultimate answer to fandom, geekiness, and everything.
That kind of feels like Halloween.
Yeah, it does, right?
Yeah.
Takes you there. See, no more sadness. Let's talk about happy, fun things like Wes Craven and Masters of Horror. We did it quite often recently, but the Complete Works series we've done is kind of a fun thing to do. So it's Halloween time, so why not do one of the Masters of Horror, Wes Craven himself?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He is an elite group.
Right.
He
Yeah.
is in an elite group, is what I meant to say.
Born in 1939, he was, and sadly died just 2 years ago on August 30th, 2015. Now, if you're any kind of fan of horror and you're in the run of those circles at all, surely you heard of the sad passing. But I mean, I would say when you not just Freddy Krueger. I mean, most people when they hear that name either think of Freddy or the Scream franchise. But there's so much more. We'll talk about here shortly. But first off, before we hit it, let's go through the whole list. And then at the end of that, we'll talk about some of our favorite Wes Craven things. How about that?
Okay.
You want to do that?
Are we doing the, I feel like Freddy's here. I smell sulfur. Are we doing director, writer?
I think so. He himself, I've listened to interviews with him the past week on old podcasts and stuff. He thought of himself more as a writer, but I think the world sees him as more of a director. So let's go for a director thought itself.
Okay.
You think of that? So his first directorial debut, at least for a big studio company, was The Last House on the Left. And did you ever see The Last House on the Left?
Oh, yep.
Yeah, no. If you're any fan of big time podcasts, especially this kind of material, odds are you've heard of the podcast, The Last Podcast on the Left. Of course, a play on this here. I believe later on, The Last House on the Left was remade just a few short years ago. I never saw that one.
It was terrible.
But this one here, man, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It deals with revenge and rape and murder and bad things.
2 teenage girls head to a rock concert for one's birthday while trying to score marijuana in the city. They are kidnapped and brutalized by a gang of psychotic convicts.
Right.
1972.
Sounds kind of fun, right?
Last House on the Left.
Doesn't it sound kind of fun a little bit?
Not really.
In 1975, he has a movie called The Fireworks Woman. Honestly, I've never seen this one before. Have you?
No, I haven't seen this one.
The summary for this one is Angela and Peter are siblings and have loved each other since they were kids.
I'm going to pass.
They're both physically
Pass
attracted
on
to each
that
other,
one.
but Peter is studying to become a priest. She finally gets in bed with him, and after that, Peter starts to have second thoughts on his plans for his priestly future. That's called The Fireworks Woman. Oddly enough, when he directed that, he was known as Abe Snake. Wes Craven was. Now, that's kind of a, maybe not a gem, but it's a hidden something.
Yeah.
But 2 years later, 1977, he does come back to the forefront with The Hills Have Eyes.
One of the most intense horror movies I've ever seen.
Once again, remade a few short years ago. That movie, the remake was more grotesque and more intense, but this one here, especially for 1977, really kind of broke a mold for movies here. People know the classic scenes and the classic icon image of Michael Berryman, the main actor there. We've seen him a few times at conventions. I've spoken to him a few times myself. And what happens is he'll tell you himself he has a disease, like a disorder he was born with.
Mm-hmm.
He can't grow hair, can't grow teeth, can't grow fingernails. Basically anything hard. His body is just bones and skin. That's all he is.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's not bones and or skin, his body can't grow it. Like,
oh, wow.
Has total false teeth, no eyebrows, no hair can grow, no fingernails.
So he's perfect for a Wes Craven movie.
Exactly. So why not have him in The Hills Have Eyes in 1977? Later on, he comes back in to some Rob Zombie movies later on, but people know him as the guy from The Hills Have Eyes. There's a movie called Summer of Fear. It's a TV movie, 1978. I never saw that myself. Did you ever see that?
No.
Same for 1981's Deadly Blessing. Sounds fun, like a fun time, but never saw it. But in 1982, a character we may love called Swamp Thing comes out. And we all know Swamp Thing, the classic comic character based on this movie here, or the movie based on the comic. And written for sure, and I believe directed as well by Wes Craven.
And this is a true 80s B-movie classic.
Right, yeah.
It makes you pine for for trauma films.
It does have kind of the budget for Swamp Thing himself is just the costume is 5 trauma films combined, but it's kind of has that trauma feel. You're right. It's got that dirty, gritty kind of just gross feel to it.
And kind of a political story.
Right,
And it was written as a political story.
Right, yeah.
When it was a comic.
Yeah.
And that kind of carries over to the movie.
Yeah.
It's a pretty bad movie.
You think so?
Swamp Thing's pretty bad.
Some people love it, some do, some don't. 2 short years later, maybe his most busy year ever Wes Craven had. So he starts off early on with a TV movie called Invitation to Hell. Shortly after that, a few months later, we have The Hills Have Eyes Part 2, the direct follow-up to The Hills Have Eyes from 7 years later. And then also the same year as that TV movie and that sequel, we have a movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984. I believe this movie here could and possibly should have a whole podcast to it in the future of the series. What do you think of the first Nightmare on Elm Street? What'd you thought?
I think.
Did you see it? What's the first one you saw, and how old were you when you saw it? A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Let's see.
It comes
I
out
would have been
84.
11 when it came out.
You think you saw it that early?
Probably 10, not quite 11 yet. I did not see it that early.
Right.
And I don't really think Nightmare on Elm Street was the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie I watched. I think Dream Warriors was the first one I watched.
Nice.
And it was a TV edit.
Oh.
And then, you know, I think I was in high school when I finally saw A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is not really, I mean, like, I did, like, a few years ago, we were doing a promotion with the haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
And
sure. That one?
No, not that one. No, not that one. That was a few years after that.
I got you.
This would have been around 2002. A few years ago. several years
Just 15,
ago.
no biggie.
Yeah. And they were playing A Nightmare on Elm Street on the television out front.
Uh-huh.
And it's not, I mean, it's not overly gory.
Right.
It's not, I don't think there's even any nudity in it, is there?
I don't think for the first one. I could be wrong.
And the language is pretty tame
Right.
for an R-rated movie from the 80s. So it's not, I mean, but it is Freddy, and it is a horror movie, no doubt about it.
Right.
And it launched the career of Johnny Depp.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it sure did.
Sort of. Isn't it weird that he had the biggest career of anybody in that movie?
Yeah. I never would have thought that.
Yeah.
Probably the most fun death scene, though.
So when was the first time you saw it?
I think, oddly enough, whenever Freddy's Dead first came out, I saw that in theaters, I want to say. And I was way too young to see it in theaters, but I had a weird family. What year was that? Maybe, I don't know, if I had to guess, it's not in front of me, maybe 92-ish, 93-ish?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was 8, 9 years old, and I remember Freddy's Dead came back, and it was a big deal because in the title, you know what's going to happen. It's the end of an era, end of a franchise.
But is it?
Yeah.
No.
Was that all? What was it? Were there that many movies between 84 and 92-ish, 93?
Yeah.
That's almost a movie a year.
Well, we're about to talk about the next Nightmare on Elm Street movie came
Right.
out in 85, right?
Yeah. Wow.
So, but historically, A Nightmare on Elm Street, one of the most important horror movies of all time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Created, it didn't create a genre, but it certainly breathed life into a genre and put it in mainstream.
Right.
And slasher movies became mainstream.
True.
I think due to A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Personally.
Later on, the years following, he did some TV movies and some TV series episodes for Walt Disney, and even did some episodes for the Twilight Zone TV series itself.
Which is really cool.
They had a reboot in the mid-'80s there, which, once again, like the movie itself, I need to see some of the reboot show back then.
Yeah, the 80s reboot of The Twilight Zone was really good.
Yeah.
The 90s,
You think so?
But I thought the 80s was really good.
Not so good?
They recreated some of the classic Twilight Zone stories, and there were some original ones, too.
I gotcha. In between there, in 1986, though, he did direct a movie called Deadly Friend. Have you ever seen Deadly Friend before?
No, I have not.
Do me a favor, if you're listening to this, when you have a chance, if you're driving, pull over, go on your YouTube app, and type in Deadly Friend basketball when you have a chance. And this is a classic actress, one of my favorite actresses. She never gets enough credit. Anne Ramsey. If I said the name Anne Ramsey, would that bring up anything for you there?
Throw Mama from the Train.
Exactly. Very good. That is Anne Ramsey.
And Goonies.
And Goonies, yeah.
Yeah.
Erwin. That's Anne Ramsey, my Anne Ramsey impression. But go on, look up the Deadly Friend basketball scene if you want a good shock. One of the, to me, a very underrated movie that not many people have seen or heard of, but that scene itself sells it for me.
Yeah?
Deadly Friend. Check it out if you have a chance. Soon after that, in 1988, we do have Bill Pullman's first major movie ever, The Serpent and the Rainbow. Did you ever see that one before?
I love the speech he gives as the president.
That's all we know him as, huh? I've actually never seen all this in total, but I have many fears and many memories of passing the VHS cover in the rental aisle and passing it because it looks so scary.
Mm-hmm.
The summary was an anthropologist goes to Haiti after hearing rumors about a drug used by black magic practitioners to turn people into zombies, and Bill Pullman must investigate, as he always does. That's the Serpent and the Rainbow.
As a Bill Pullman will do.
Yeah. Here's one from 1989. Wes Craven directed. I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Shocker.
I hate this movie.
You don't like Shocker?
I hate Shocker. I hate it.
Is it scary or just badly done? What do
It's
you
just
think?
badly done.
You think so?
I think it's just terrible. I think it's just a
really?
terrible movie.
Really?
Yeah.
It's different.
I mean, the plot premise is very similar to Child's Play.
Do you think so? Yeah, it's true.
And also,
Right.
but that premise is done better in Fallen. With
Fallen.
Denzel
I was going to say, it's a
Washington.
mixture of
Yeah.
Child's Play and Fallen.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. It's that whole premise is done much better in Fallen.
Right. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
It's underrated as well. And the year following that, we do have a TV movie called Night Visions in 1990. The year after that, I love this movie personally, 1991. Love it so much. The People Under the Stairs. Saw this when this first came out, 7 or 8 years old. Scared the piss out of me. Are you a fan of this movie at all?
No.
Really?
Uh-uh.
Not at all?
Uh-uh.
I mean, great. I believe Ving Rhames is in this. One of my favorite characters from the Mighty Ducks franchise is in here. All this directed and even written by Wes Craven. So it's a winning combo.
I'll tell you why I don't like that movie so much.
Why's that?
Probably. I think by 91 is when I was starting to become a movie snob. I'll just be honest.
Really? 91?
Yeah.
That soon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're into like Lawnmower Man and Things That Made You Think back then?
Yeah, Lawnmower
Is that
Man.
what you're-
There's quality filmmaking.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just remember like when The People Under the Stairs came out. Yeah. I wasn't interested. I was into Barton Fink.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Hudsucker Proxy.
I was like, exactly. I was wanting to go see the important movies.
Wow.
Barton Fink.
Wow.
Barton Fink.
So I'm a huge fan of People Under the Stairs. His next theatrical release was 3 years later in 1994, and that was, I would say, the official ending of that Freddy franchise, and that was the official title, Wes Craven's New Nightmare,
which is fantastic.
Which is odd. That's 10 years. As iconic as that series was, with so many installations, it was only 10 years.
Yeah, it was only 10 years.
That's as if like a horror icon status started in 2007 and ended this year.
Yeah.
It had 8 or 9 installments, 7 or 8. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, and it was treated with such, look how much she's aged.
Right, yeah.
Look how much older Robert Englund looks.
Yeah.
It was 10 years.
Yeah. John Cena's been around for 15 years.
Yeah, exactly. Sidebar.
Yeah.
They're using the John Cena theme in a Toyota Camry commercial now.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Also, Ace of Spades.
Oh, really?
Is in a car commercial
Everything's
now.
fair game.
Yeah.
Wow. And this, for me here, it starts with The People Under the Stairs in 91, and he has a hot streak. This is what I call the old Craven hot streak right here for a while, because he has, like we said, New Nightmare 94. The year after that,
Evil is good.
I love it so much. In 1995, Eddie Murphy's classic Vampire in Brooklyn.
That is a great movie.
I mean,
it's a great movie.
Who doesn't love Vampire in Brooklyn?
It didn't do well.
Uh-huh.
And I think this was I think Vampire in Brooklyn was the first Eddie Murphy movie. Maybe not. 95. When did Beverly Hills Cop 3 come out? It was around that,
Yeah,
wasn't
I think
it?
around that. Maybe 93, 94.
When was Boomerang?
Ooh, that was way after that, I think.
Was it?
Thankfully. Well, no, it was 92-ish.
Yeah.
That Distinguished Gentleman, all that gets mixed up to me.
Yeah, that those few years right there was the beginning of the look, a falling star.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
But I love Vampire in Brooklyn. You can't
Vampire
deny-
in Brooklyn is awesome.
It's a combination of good horror and comedy.
I will defend Vampire in Brooklyn till
Yeah,
my dying day.
exactly.
It is a good movie.
Dwayne from
Dwayne Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shortly after that, Vampire in Brooklyn's in 95, and then in 96 we have Scream, the very first installation of that. So back to back, you have New Nightmare, Vampire in Brooklyn, and Scream 3 years in a row.
It's very telling of Wes Craven that you know what? Yeah, I pretty much brought the genre movie or the genre of slasher movies, made them popular.
Yeah.
What's the next thing I can do? Oh, I'll create another genre of horror movies.
Right, yeah.
And it's the ironic horror movies.
Right, yeah.
Where they're
Did it so
self-aware.
well.
The self-aware.
And
Probably
it's-
self-aware is a better term.
I've seen a lot of hardcore, air quotes, horror fans not like this franchise, but I love it so much.
Yeah,
I think it deserves respect.
I still haven't seen the last one.
It's really good.
But I
It's
like
it's modernized for what it is.
the first couple especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scream 1 happens in 96. The year after, man, he cranked out some sequels, didn't he? 1997, we do have Scream 2. In 1999, a song I've never heard of, a movie I've never heard of called Music of the Heart. What is Music of the Heart about?
Well, it stars Meryl Streep, Cloris Leachman.
Wow. You're serious, aren't you?
Directed by Wes Craven.
You were serious.
It's a story of school teachers struggled to teach violin to the inner city Harlem kids.
You actually are serious.
Yeah.
Wow. So here's, like I said, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts and reading interviews about Wes Craven in preparation for this. And I've read and understood that Wes Craven started out not wanting to do horror movies, that he thought horror movies was an evolution for him as a storyteller. That's what got the most visceral experience and got the most emotion out of viewers, which I can't disagree with that. I can't.
If Abe Snake wrote The Fireworks Woman,
he directed it.
It sounds, or directed it.
Yeah.
I think he wrote that one too.
Oh, did he write it too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then I'm thinking that he always had a wicked sensibility.
He describes it as the continuation of the Western. That's what a horror movie is. That's kind of what is his thing that happened.
Maybe.
He has stories of the actual Freddy Krueger character himself. Most all of his characters, kind of like a Stephen King story, were based on things that happened to him in his real life. The Freddy Krueger character was a bully. The name itself of Freddy Krueger was his bully in school that just tormented him nonstop, daily. When he and his brothers used to work at a restaurant, they would peer outside, and there was a scary homeless man in a woolly sweater with stripes and a hat that would like just crack on the door with his fingers. And the scary stuff like that, you combine those together and have a classic, iconic horror character like Freddy Krueger. I think it's kind of a cool thing.
So if you were to name your bully after create an icon, horror icon, named after the bully, what would it be? Who is your Freddy Krueger?
Freddy Krueger. He was a big dude, like just really swollen.
Big John?
No, and they called him Beechel for some reason.
Beechel.
Yeah, doesn't Beechel sound scary?
Yeah.
Beechel always tried to beat me up by my car. It's like, I'm waiting for you.
Leave me alone, Beechel.
It's true, yeah.
Mine would be Andy Holt.
Really? That's
not very scary at all, is it?
No, not at all.
I was probably overreacting.
Like I said, 1999, you just spoke of Music of the Heart. In 2000, we do have the follow-up, Scream 3.
Yeah.
3 was all right. Is that when Jackie from Roseanne comes along? Or is that part 2? I get 2 and 3 mixed up. 3 had Jay and Silent Bob. I know that.
3 is the one where they're on the movie set.
Yeah.
Because the Ghostface killer falls out of the window into the boat.
Yeah.
And Dewey saves the day.
Right.
Yeah.
Or was that part 2 whenever the Stab movie comes out?
I thought that was 3.
Because part 2 starts with Jada Pinkett Smith and her boyfriend. I think that was, who was that?
Well, here is the synopsis for Scream 3.
Okay.
While Sydney and her friends visit the Hollywood set of Stab 3.
Okay, so Stab 3.
The third film based on the Woodsboro murders, a new Ghostface begins to terrorize them once again. So
brilliant. Because I think this is one of the first, for the most part, this kind of started that whole A, ensemble cast thing, but B, it's almost like a modern-day whodunit mystery.
Yeah, that's true.
When you have I guess you could say a Friday the 13th, you don't really know who did it until the end.
Mm-hmm.
But from that point forward, you know Jason Voorhees is the killer.
Yeah.
Except for Jason Goes to Hell and it sucks. And Nightmare on Elm Street, you know Freddy Krueger is the guy.
Yeah.
And you know Pennywise is the person.
But you don't know.
And Texas Chainsaw, Leatherface is the guy. But in Scream, you never know.
You always think it's David Arquette.
Right, yeah.
I'm always expecting it to be David Arquette.
I always think it's Officer Dewey.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
And here's, for me, the end of that hot streak for Craven. Because in 2005, he had a 5-year gap between Scream 3 and Cursed.
Yeah.
That's what he did. And I've never seen Cursed. But also in 2005, he did have Red Eye. I've seen that, but not very memorable.
What did he have in 2006?
It was Paris Je t'aime. It's a segment he had for Paris Lachaise.
Oh, okay.
2006. Also in 2010, he had a movie called My Soul to Take. And finally, his last movie, sadly, in 2011 was Scream 4. I do recommend Scream 4 if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
It's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
I went in kind of meh. Which, once again, it seems such a big gap. But it's only 11 years between Scream 3 and Scream 4.
They got so old.
Bigger gaps have happened. They really have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sequel to Chinatown was like 20 years.
Was there a sequel? Oh, yeah. What was that called? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I've really forgotten that happened.
It's escaping me right now.
It happens, though.
But there was a sequel in the 90s to Chinatown.
Check out Scream 4. Please do it.
I will check that out eventually.
Yeah, do it. Because it was one of the first Halloweens we had. I talked about it on this show.
So if you go through his writer credits, Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
The comic? They had a comic for that.
Was that a comic?
Uh-huh.
So he gets character credit, I
gotcha.
guess.
Okay.
What about Freddy versus Ghostbusters?
A comic again, I guess?
It says short action horror.
Interesting.
No. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees team up to seek revenge on Ash Williams.
Well, it was talked about it. That actually happened, though?
It says 2011. It says it's a short. Is this like a fan film, maybe?
Yeah, probably so. It probably is.
It's like Batman versus Alien versus Predator.
Yeah.
Versus one of the best Jokers I've ever seen on film.
Right, it's true, yeah.
Yeah, and then so what is Freddy versus Ghostbusters? This is from the Internet Movie Database, by the way. That's a comic.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Every town has an Elm Street, and Denver is no exception. Denver? The man of your dreams crosses paths with the boys in gray, who will win the battle for 1980s supremacy. It says see full cast and crew. This was a short film, too, from 2004. I guess... I'm guessing another fan film.
And the casting of that, Bill O'Grady stars as Jared from Subway. True story.
In this?
Yeah. And Freddy versus Ghostbusters.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm going to go on YouTube and watch some stuff tonight. That's what I'm doing.
You're going to go watch Freddy vs. Ghostbusters?
Yes, I am.
See what the effects are?
Yeah. But he wrote that? How is that even a thing?
Well, he gets writing credit because it uses
Yeah.
the character that he created.
Wow. So you still got some chunk of money from it, I guess, maybe.
Doubt it. I'm doubting that. Yeah, because when you go to Internet Movie Database, look through the cast. Oh, they don't have profile pictures.
Ah, makes sense.
What else has Scott Douglas been in? Oh, nothing.
Subway commercial?
A Subway commercial. There you go.
Yeah, that was a fun look down Wes Craven's life there. Yeah.
Actually, Scott Douglas was born on April 24th. He is known for his work on Thor, The Avengers, and Captain America, the First Avenger.
Wow. Really? Really?
Apparently.
By the way, the full movie of Freddy vs. Ghostbusters is on YouTube in 34 minutes entirety.
So it is a short film.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly. I want to go through this. This is also on IMDb. So I thought it'd be fun to go through. It's the 35 highest grossing rated R horror movies. Because, all the hubbub is perhaps it. Well, it already is the highest grossing R-rated horror movie of all time.
Right.
So let's start at number 35. And you can guess these if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Give your opinion. Weigh in. 2009's The Final Destination.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Yeah?
Like that a lot.
34, End of Days.
Uh-huh.
Blade, the original Blade from 98.
That's a horror movie?
33. Oh, here we go. I would count that as a horror movie. There's vampires.
Yeah.
Is Vampire in Brooklyn a horror movie?
Yeah, there's like horror moments to it.
There's horror moments in Blade.
I guess so.
Really? There's a shower of blood. I Know What You Did Last Summer is number 32.
Okay.
Who's in that?
Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's who.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Hollow Man is number 31.
She never saw that.
You're not missing anything.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Number 30 is Deep Blue Sea.
Get out of here.
Oh, here we go.
You get out of here.
It's a shark movie.
Uh-huh.
And 29, Alien Covenant. Number 28, Zombieland from 2009.
Yeah.
Constantine from 2005 at 27. 26 is Saw 3.
That's a random number 4, but okay.
Number 25, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003.
Okay, I'll take it.
24, Alien from 1979.
You know my take on that. Keep going.
I think it is a horror movie. Number 23 is Blade 2 from 2002.
Wow.
Number 22 is Bram Stoker's Dracula from 1992.
That's a bad movie.
Freddy vs. Jason at 21.
Once again, bad movie.
Annabelle at 20.
Never saw, but it's direct to video. So how good can it be? Or was that one?
No, it was. I went to the theater to see that. Thank you very much.
Annabelle did?
Yeah,
Really?
Annabelle. Yeah.
Am I thinking Annabelle 2? One of those is straight to video.
No, Annabelle. The sequel to Annabelle is in theaters.
Wow.
It's in theaters right now.
Wow.
Annabelle Creation. Oh, here we go. Paranormal Activity 2 at number 19.
My eyes are rolling out of my head.
Aliens at 18.
Still rolling.
The Amityville Horror comes in at number 17. These are R-rated movies. Highest grossing R-rated movies. Number 16 is Saw 2.
Oh, is it adjusted for inflation or kind of staying their spot there?
Let's see. Now, it's like number 15 is Scream 3. It says domestic gross just over 89 million. Opening weekend almost 35 million.
That's so funny compared to It numbers.
Yeah. Number 14, Don't Breathe.
Huh.
From 2016. Sleepy Hollow from 99 and number 13. That is a great movie. Annabelle Creation from this year, number 12.
Wow, really? That high?
Number 11 is Scream 2 from 97. The Conjuring 2 from last year at number 10.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
It's a good movie too.
I never saw the second one. That's funny.
Yeah. Number 9 is Scream from 96.
Nice.
Number 8 is Paranormal Activity 3 from 2011. Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Chronicles at number 7. By the way, I was reading this week, we'll save this for NWO News. Interview with the Vampire is part of one of those Mandela effects.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because honestly, I remember it as Interview with a Vampire. Interview with a Vampire, not Interview with the Vampire.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 6, Paranormal Activity. Number 5, The Conjuring. 4, The Blair Witch Project. 3, Get Out, which I still haven't seen. 2, The Exorcist. And number 1 is this year's It, with a domestic gross of almost $300 million.
That's crazy for a horror movie. And rated R at that.
With an opening weekend of almost $124 million.
Pretty
opening
awesome.
weekend.
Pretty awesome.
For a movie about a clown.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
Compare that opening weekend with what was at the bottom of the list? Final Destination.
Uh-huh.
Opening weekend 27.4.
Which still, it's a good number.
Yeah, it's a
horror
good
movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
It's sad there are some much better horror movies that aren't on there. That's sad to me.
Such as?
I think The Strangers belongs on there, but I don't think a lot of people saw that.
Yeah.
That's one of the most terrifying movies I've ever seen. Ever.
Yeah.
I think The Others should be on there. It's well done, scary, has a
The
good
Others
cast.
is good.
Yeah, I think should be on there.
Yeah. What was the one with Liv Tyler in it?
That's The Strangers.
That's The Strangers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the one I've seen.
Uh-huh.
Because I've seen one of them and haven't seen the other.
That's where, there's not a real plot to it. It's just she and her husband in a abandoned house, and these people just break into their house and torture them.
Mm-hmm.
No reason, no plot, no supernatural. They're just crazy. That's all there is to it.
She'll do anything to not have to listen to her dad's music.
It's true.
Hey, you can check us out online at adamandjp.com.
Don't forget patreon.com/podcastroll and on Twitter at adamandjp as well.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
Eat your cotton candy, corn candy, and your podcast roll.
What?
I don't know.
Eat your cotton picking podcast roll.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If you're all alone, pick up the phone and call Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at ESONetwork.com.